G'day fellas, and welcome to the Empire Wars overview. In this video, we're going to be talking about Empire Wars. We're going to be going through exactly how it works, and we're going to be taking a look at every single civilization later on in the video and going through exactly what they get when they start, because every civ is different in Empire Wars. Now, to play Empire Wars, all you're going to be doing is just changing your game mode from Standard over to Empire Wars, the same way that you would do for Nomad or Scenario or Royal Rumble or Sandbox. So we're going to go and do that. Now, Empire Wars won't be available to play in Ranked. It won't be available to play in Quick Match either. It is a separate game mode that's in Customs if you want to play with your friends, or in Skirmish if you want to play with the AI. Now we're going to be jumping into Golden Heights, which is one of the brand new maps. So let's get on over there and start. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off the game, and I'm not going to do a single thing, and we're just going to go through everything that you get. Now, this is, of course, with the Chinese. Every single civilization is different, so we'll go through every single civ and just try and see the differences. And we're also going to be talking about what civs this game mode favors, because it's important to remember a lot of people might come into Empire Wars thinking, and you know what, we're just going to pause it right here because I got a lot to talk about. You might come into this game thinking, or Empire Wars thinking, it's not that big. Hold on a minute. Empire Wars is the game mode that's played for Red Bull Wallalol in Age of Empires 2. When they play Age of Empires 2 at Red Bull Wallalol, the biggest Age of Empires 4 tournament that we've seen, you know, over the last couple of years, it is always Empire Wars. So Empire Wars could be, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, I don't have any inside knowledge, I don't know at all at this point, but it could be that Age of Empires 4 goes to Red Bull Wallalol next year, or rather this year, and that with that, it means that Empire Wars is played there. That could be. I would suspect that's probably going to be the case. But at the same time, I mean, it's also a pretty fun game mode that gets you up to speed a little bit faster. So just to provide a little bit of insight towards the way that it goes. So you can see here we're playing as the Chinese. We've started off with 6 sheep. All my villagers have naturally moved over onto a sheep immediately. Now, I've got 2 Imperial officials. I've got a scout. I've got a mill that's on the berries. I've got no upgrades whatsoever. And I've got another Imperial official that's supervising my villagers out on wood here. I've got 6 vills on the gold. And I've got 4 villagers in queue at the town center. So you start off already with a lot of resources. I mean, look at this. Like, we're 30 seconds into the game, and I'm able to age up right now. So my wonders aren't built already, but they are just about ready to be thrown down, which is absolutely awesome. Now, this is going to favor some civilizations, and this is going to be terrible for some civilizations. So let's go through exactly which civilizations I think are going to be good and which ones aren't going to be good, and which civilizations this is going to favor. Now, the first thing that we're going to be doing is of course, just doing a standard tier list. Okay, now this is going to be my prediction. It's not going to be, you know, I don't actually think this is going to do well, but let's talk about some of the ways that this is going to play. So I think Mongols, this mode is going to adversely affect them. I don't think that it's going to mean that Mongols are going to be terrible in this mode. I just don't think they're going to be as good in this mode as they might be in, say, a normal mode. And that's because Mongols rely on a lot of early aggression, right? Games that you're playing with the Mongols, it's a civilization that typically relies on that early Dark Age aggression. Now, in saying that, they're not the only civ that relies on Dark Age aggression. You've also got the Ottomans, which like to go for that early military school, get in the enemy base, start annoying them on the stone mine or on the gold mine, and they go for those military schools. Well, now they're not going to have that chance to build up in the early game. So that's another thing that you're going to have to consider. Other civilizations that look for a little bit of tempo early with their quick age ups, the French, also going to be adversely affected here. Now, I'm not going to put them in the D tier. I'll put them in the C tier because they want to try and get that knight out a little bit faster and try and hit the enemy, you know, but before, you know, often we will see French players aging up at, you know, even before 4 minutes and try and get out a really early knight. And the reason why this adversely affects the French is because for me, if I'm aging up at 30 seconds and throwing down my Barbican, I'm already on the way to 2 TC Song Dynasty as the Chinese. For me, my thinking is that if anything, for the Chinese, this is a great game mode for them because it gets you already to that stage where you're getting into the game super hard, super fast. Now, granted, I haven't actually gone through and tested every single civ and like done all the balancing on that because that's not my job. My job's to play. The devs obviously do all the balancing, and I would suspect that they've worked it out all behind the scenes. But I would suspect, now I don't actually know if this is the case, but I would suspect that civilizations that like to have a little bit of safety in the early game, like your Chinese, like your English, like your Abbasid dynasties, are going to prosper in this game mode. That's the way I think about it, and that's not necessarily because, you know, we get to the late game we get to the late game sooner. It's because you take a look at, okay, if we restart the game, you have a look at this, right? So just hypothetically, let's say I want to go for a 2 TC song, and I'm up against a French opponent. Okay, now we start the game with a lot of villagers here, but just bear with me, just chill. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna touch anything, and I'm just gonna move my sheep a little bit closer. Let's go pick up these sheep, and we'll head out over onto the middle of the map. Okay, so move these guys over, and we're just gonna cancel a couple of these villagers, and we've got one in the queue here, and we've got our lumber camp. So Imperial Academy can go down right there. And we're up against, you know, we're up against the French, hypothetically. Okay, let's just say that. So all I need to do is I'm just going to grab 3 vills right here, and I'm just going to go throw down my Barbican. It's already ready to go. Do I throw another vill in queue? I'll throw another vill in queue. All right, so Barbican comes down 38 seconds. Beautiful little spot here. Actually, we could even move it over a little bit more, but I think this is fine for now. All right, and I'm going to queue up another villager. And I'm going to be looking for my Song Dynasty. Now, if I wanted to go for an early barracks, I could do that. I've got the wood to do it. But I think the point is that very happily, I could be aging up and then just going for a second TC. Obviously, I'm going to go for my Song Dynasty. But very easily now, I'm going to be able to move over towards that second TC Song Dynasty. Because now I can just do this. And this gives you a huge advantage, because normally you're looking for like 2 TC Song Dynasty at a very early stage. So I think if anything, this very much buffs up civilizations that are kind of looking to play a bit more of a greedy game. I suspect that things may get aggressive very quickly. Like, as an example, if we take a look at the French, I know in this game mode, they do actually start with an extra villager. Or sorry, I think it's an extra 3 villagers that they start with. So what that means, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see it, is players are going to be looking to age up with like 10 villagers on the first landmark and get units out. But just remember though that the defender is going to be favored even in this matchup. So okay, let's have a look. All right, so I'm just going to immediately pull all of these sheep in like that. So remember, all civs are different. But I tell you what, I think China feels pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if China gets a nerf, though, just judging by that. So let's pull all these down. So what would we want? I mean, realistically, you could just take all of these wood villages right here and just build your landmark with it. I mean, we could look for early upgrades here as well, but we're not going to do it. We're just going to do like a hypothetical rush as quickly as we can. Let's go, everyone here. School of Cavalry on the front line. Boom. Throw it down. We can throw our archery range as soon as we're up as well. And let's get our upgrades through. So we'll start with a wheelbarrow. Let's get everything just because we can. But you can see we're aging up pretty quickly here. So you can definitely put on pressure, right? And like, let's say that's the Chinese player's stone mine. So they're going to need to go into an early racks. It basically just gets the game started a lot sooner than what it would otherwise. But I still think that really does favor some civilizations. We can move out over onto stone with these guys as well. We got lots of resources in the bank. But I wouldn't be surprised if a 2 TC style does kind of develop the same way. And I don't really know how much is going to deviate from the meta. But my suspicion, as I said, I think a lot of the civilizations that want to try and get through further into the game, it's going to give them a lot of favorability. I think for the Delhi Sultanate in particular, it might be a bit interesting for them, because ideally they want to research their upgrades. Like, you want to get your wheelbarrows in, you want to get all those. So I think that might adversely affect them. When it comes to the Malians, I guess this civilization, there's probably going to be changing the way that it looks to play, but I suspect there's not going to be too much of an impact on these 2 civilizations. So I think when it comes to sort of the difference that you're going to see in these, or in Empire Wars, I think that this is going to be the effect on it. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the outcome or the actual balance. And look at the amount of resources we've already got through. I mean, at this point, right, like, this is kind of wild. Let's get that mining camp down over there. And villagers. So now we're up at 1:37, and you guys all get back to work over there. I don't know what you just said about the TC. You said something about the TC. And now we can start getting our extra upgrades. Let's get that upgrade. Let's throw another knight in queue out here. I mean, it just feels really, really nice playing Empire Wars, because I think the most exciting thing about playing Empire Wars is that you don't really have to wait to get into the game, right? Like, often we're trying to master the early game, but here you don't even have to do that. The game has already begun for you. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds, we've got the knight heading out. We could throw down an archery range if we wanted to. Probably don't need it. Lots of vills on the gold. We've got a second knight coming out. we've got the resources to throw down additional ones as well. Let's get our horticulture in. And, of course, we're going for that third town, or that second town center right here. But our first knight comes in. Let's see if we can find anything. There we go. That'll do. Villager number 1. Yoink. And we'll come around here. We might be able to get lucky. Let's go. Let's send the knight over to the backside. I didn't even give these guys control groups yet. And that TC is now coming down. We didn't even move our scout. Oh my god, look at this. We've got the quadruple double right here. Okay, that did not work. You guys get the point though, right? Like this is looking very, very solid, very happy early on. We're doing a classic 3 TC build here with the French. The point is that Empire Wars looks pretty good, right? So let's talk about what each of these civilizations get. We've kind of gone into it, what the strengths is, you understand. So your base civilization is going to be the French. So if we're just going to do an assessment just on that, obviously we just play them there, but we're just going to take a look at what they get and how each civilization is different from the next civilization, because there are some pretty wacky changes that the devs have made in here, which I will be showing you. So the French, we start off and we've got 29 villagers. We've got a scout. We've got our extra sheep, because you do get a couple of extra sheep, and you've got 4 vills in queue. Nothing crazy, right? Like, you've got a mill on the berries, you've got the mining camp, and you've got the lumber camp. So coming into this game, like, you might just be thinking, all right, just straight away wheelbarrow. All right, nice and easy. Just immediately come in, click the wheelbarrow. Bam, done. So that's it. Actually, now that I think about it, English are pretty adversely affected, because they kind of want to go... Sometimes they like to do early men-at-arms in some matchups, and they also like to go for longbows very early, kind of the same way that the French do. So I'm going to say that's not the best, but at the same time, they do like to boom. So maybe it's kind of like... It hurts them, but at the same time, it doesn't really. So, yeah, we've got your 7 vills on gold. You've got 9 vills out here on wood, and then you've got 13 on food, with of course some villagers in queue. So yeah, and look at that. By the time you're ready to age up, I mean, look at that. You can basically squeeze that wheelbarrow in there just with free macro. We should probably put another vill in queue just in case, but you guys get the point. So that's what the French get. So let's take a look at the next civilization. So we'll go with the Abbasid now, because this is a pretty interesting one, the Abbasid dynasty. And I know we probably shouldn't like beat around it too much. What do I want to do? I want to go change the map state to revealed for the Abbasid dynasty, because what you're about to see is going to get pretty crazy. And let's change the map. Let's go to a map like, what could we do? We could probably do... Let's go like Dry Arabia. Okay, let's just see how it works, because it might work, might not work for revealed. Actually, revealed doesn't really work for them, because they're going to have to find their trading post anyway. But let's have a look and see what we get with the Abbasid dynasty, because I tell you what, you might be a little bit weirded out by this. Abbasid dynasty start with their golden one activation. We've got 12, 8, and 6. So if we do it, so we've got 26 vills. So remember, 26 vills is like the base number. French get an extra 3 vills. Okay, but look at this. You've got a market. And not only that, a market in the Dark Age. Remember, we're in the Dark Age here. The market can train traders, and the traders are cheaper. So at the very beginning of the game, you can begin trading with your market as the Abbasid dynasty. That's kind of wild. Now, your market is not unlocked, so you're not going to be able to put down the market in the corner. But it's very, very interesting, the fact that you can head straight into that. So I actually think the Abbasid dynasty trade wing might become like a legitimate thing, right? Like, already you can see I could have squeezed in 3 traders here. God, that's... Why is that training so quickly? It's not really training quickly. So I could have squeezed in 3 traders here. And I think you can just kind of make the traders, or just like march them out onto the map, because you have a rough idea of where they're going to be, the trading post. And obviously with the trade changes, this is pretty crazy when you think about it. And then from there, I mean, you're just kind of like waiting for your age up. There's a couple of different ways that you can look to play it, but I think overall, like, you can probably just drop it barracks down. What else are you going to be spending your resources on in the transition? And I think that's one thing to note. Actually, now that I think about it, if anything, this adversely affects the Abbasid dynasty, and I'm going to bring them down because of that. I will suspect that they might suffer quite a bit. This is where it gets tough, right? Like, so Abbasid can't rush their wings, right? Like, it's a minute 45 for every single wing. Bad luck. I've got, how many vills am I on? I'm on 26 vills. There were 4 in the queue. I can't make this age up go any faster. So that means that, you know, sure, I can go with like a defensive barracks or 2 defensive barracks or something like that. but I'm still going to be behind my enemy. I'm going to be behind on techs. I'm going to be behind on a second town center. I'm going to be behind on, you know, and you got to remember, right? If you're going for a second town center, you need to wait for Fertile Crescent to come through. So if anything, I'd almost be tempted to say maybe what the devs could do, and I don't want to get too crazy here, is maybe reduce the first wing coming through for the Abbasid, even just like 15 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. Just, I know you don't want to draw too much away. Like, you want to try and keep the balance the same, and I guess that's where it gets hard. So, I don't know, maybe make them start with a bit more starting resources. Maybe that's the way that you do it, just so that they can click up immediately, because every other civ is going to probably be getting up there. I mean, like, we saw with the French there, that was like a 1 minute 30 age up, and here you're about a minute behind that. So it gets pretty heavy. So that's the Abbasid opening. So very, very, very interesting. And we do see, obviously, we go into the traders. So now I'm sitting on, what is that, 3-6 traders, and I obviously could have added a lot more, but 2 minutes into the game, I reckon, you know what? I reckon with the Abbasid, I don't want to go back in and do it because I've already shown you guys the Abbasid. I reckon you can probably get like 10 traders very early on. All right, so next civilization we're going to take a look at is the Delhi Sultanate. So, the Delhi Sultanate, obviously in the early game, their bonus is scholars. But where I think this gets interesting is it reduces the amount of decision-making you're going to need if you're a Delhi fan. Because I don't ever think you're going to see, I don't think you're going to see the, what's it called? The Dome of the Faith ever clicked. I don't think you'll ever see this clicked again. It's always just going to be Tower of Victory. You've got 4 scholars. You start with 4 scholars, and your research is already in queue. Take a look at this. Efficient production is already in queue. Wheelbarrow is already in queue. You can see it right there. And at this point, I mean, we're just chilling right now. I mean, we could go into the Dome of the Faith, but already, like, lots of vills. What do we have to start here? It's 26 vills, so we've just trained one. 4 scholars, and we have the scout. So this is already, like, massive for them, and they've got lots of houses in the early game. But I mean, like, there you go. Age up coming through. What are we doing? Let's do these bad boys. Tower of Victory. Throw it down. We've got 4 vills on this, but honestly, you can pull more. To be honest, you probably want to pull your gold vills to do it, and then you're just going to throw down double blacksmith on the age up. You can throw down the barracks as well. You probably want to do that as soon as you age, and maybe I don't even know. I don't actually know how you want to play this, but the point is Delhi actually looks pretty good in this game mode. What did we call them on this list? We called them C just because you are going to be wanting to work towards sanctity. Actually, does it really offset it by a lot? Now that I think about it, I mean, the wheelbarrow is not that slow, and the fact that you've got the mosque with the 4 scholars inside, and you can see right now just how quick we're aging up. That's 8 vills on that. Let's get a couple of these speary boys out. You know what? I'm going to put Delhi up a little bit. But this is where I'm like sort of like taking balance considerations into account, not just the civilization mechanics. Because now we're going to go through with piety. I reckon you know what? I reckon we could have slipped in a scholar there. But now we come through sanctity immediately, getting research. We're at 2 minutes. You're going to be looking to take sacred sites before the 4-minute mark. And that's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. So the age up comes through. You can immediately throw down, you know, whatever you want to do, something like that. Maybe do a little bit of that. You know, the good old fashioned. Maybe drop the mosque down in this thing. But like, obviously, we've got so many resources in the bank. Delhi, definitely. You know what? I'm going to change the way that I'm doing this. I reckon Delhi Sultanate is going to be a good civ in this. Now that I've seen how powerful those scholars are on the start, I'm kind of even tempted to put them up in S tier. That's kind of wild. You're going to have all your techs in really quickly. Tower of Victory is going to be mandatory. But the thing is, yeah, because we want to go into our cavalry. See, but if we're going into cavalry, now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious. Okay, all right. I've just thought, you know what I need to do? I need to host a tournament. And the problem is I'm hosting a tournament right now. I'm hosting Outback Octagon 2. We're going to do Empire Wars. We're going to do an Empire Wars tournament. What am I going to call it? Empire. We need a good name. If you've got any recommendations for an Empire Wars tournament, feel free to put it down in the comments. We're going to be running 2 tournaments simultaneously. It's going to be happening. I don't know when we're going to do it. We're going to do it very quick. And we're going to do it on the pup as well. It's going to be an Empire Wars tournament. I'm going to put the call out there right now. If you've got any name suggestions, please let me know. Let's continue moving on though. So it needs to be something catchy, right? Like Outback Octagon is just so good because it's like Octagon. It's 8 sides. So, you know, Octagon, and there's 8 players. So it's really good. Octagon also refers to the you know, like fighting in the octagon, like the UFC sort of thing. And then Outback, obviously Australian themed, so it just works so well. Outback octagon, it was wonderful. So if you come up with anything Empire Wars themed tournament, let me know, and of course I will give you much love. That's about it. I can't really give you much more than that. So Ottomans. We're going to check out the Rus here. So Rus, obviously, hunting cabin is one thing to watch out for. Now, I do know that apparently Crackety played a game with the Rus on Empire Wars, and his hunting cabin was giving him 6 gold a minute. And yeah, you can kind of see the problem, right? Like, the hunting cabin is spawning back here, and the houses are taking the spots of the hunting cabin. Like, look how terrible these hunting cabin spawns are. Okay, so we start off and we're on 26. You do get 2 scouts though as the Rus to start with, and the wooden fortress is already down, which reduces the strength of the Kremlin. So I don't know what these arrows in the middle mean, but I guess it's kind of like telling you could choose one or the other. So yeah, I think that's a bit interesting. So that reduces the strength of the Kremlin down, but I mean the Golden Gate's obviously just such a great landmark. It's an S tier landmark by itself. So I mean the Rus have got 2 S tier landmarks in Age 2. So maybe we see that come through. I think that when it comes to... Yeah, look at this. 7 gold a minute on that one. 8 gold a minute on that. Like, it's like you're just losing so much here with the Rus. I guess the one thing to note is that having 2 hunting cabins, like maybe you could be moving into professional scouts quite early, but you're not going to have that passive gold. You do have the second scout, which means actually from a Rus standpoint, that's pretty good because now all of a sudden from the beginning of the game, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe the power of the Rus is in what I'm about to do right now. And I'm sure you probably realize as soon as I do it, exactly what's going to happen. But the power of the Rus might just simply be in this. Start off, double scout over towards the enemy base, and you double click your hunting cabin and make 2. Let's get 2 scouts out. There you go. Look at this hunting cabin. This hunting cabin's on. Wait, do you get 3 hunting cabins? Wait, my last hunting cabin wasn't on the berries, or was it on the berries and it was just awkwardly placed? Now it probably doesn't really make sense right now because I don't have I've got Fog of War turned on because I'm an absolute baboon. So let's go back into it and show you what I'm thinking, but it could actually be good. Like you might actually get a lot of bounty in the games that you play as Rus, and maybe that could offset it, especially because 500 bounty now with the Rus is so strong. So we straight away go to the enemy base, cancel both of those, and now immediately go into that. We can also look to pick up an early wheelbarrow, but I mean everybody kind of gets the early wheelbarrow, so it's really not that like crazy strong. So once again, we're just looking to pick up our I reckon if there's a hunt, it's probably going to be in that direction. We're just looking to pick up our early hunt. Villagers getting rallied down here. Do we get an early wheelbarrow? Maybe let's just get an early wheelbarrow. Like, we're not in a rush here. We're going to get so much passive gold from our deer killing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this guy's going to come up here. That guy's going to go down there. But you guys get the point, right? Like, we do know that there is a... All right, there we go. We can hear that age up coming through from the enemy already, so we're just going to check behind their base first. So we got wheelbarrow coming through on that. We got survival techniques as well, but I don't think we need to go into survival techniques. So it's already pretty hard for like the enemy. So now at this point, so pause. What do we want to do here? Maybe we want to go into second town center. That could be a thing, but maybe we just put like these 6 vills here on the Golden Gate. Like maybe that's it. You take 8 gold vills because you're already going to be getting your gold in from here. So we haven't been very lucky on our deer spawn. So maybe, who knows? Let's go down that way. And then this guy's going to kill that hunt. We did get survival techniques. Probably didn't need to do that. Let's train a few vills here. So we got survival techniques. We got wheelbarrow coming through. And our bounty is kind of like skyrocketing at this point. We still haven't found either of those hunts. So we found 2. There we go. So let's get all of those. And there's that last one. So I'm confident that you would be able to find at least 3 out of the 4 hunts pretty much every single game as the Rus. And that's going to put you in a really good position for bounty. So I think if anything, the Rus should be pretty strong in this game mode. And I remember there was a wolf back up here. Just simply because... Like, look at the age up time. Like, we're not that far behind where we'd want to be. And obviously, like, my macro is terrible at this point. But you get that extra 20% wood production in the beginning of the game. So even if we take a look at like, your start, which is 26 vills, 2 scouts, you get the wooden fortress, which isn't really 26 vills. It's actually, you know, the 20% on the 8, which is closer to 2 villages. So that's not too crazy when you think about it in the scheme of things. You're basically running like a couple of extra vills here. So I think that's pretty good. Maybe the Rus are actually not that bad. It's interesting how this list is changing. Because I'm kind of like, actually, the Rus might be kind of good. Rus might be kind of good. You kind of get screwed on those hunting cabins, but I don't think we should anchor ourselves to think, oh, these hunting cabins, I'm only getting 6 gold. Like, don't think of it like that. Think of it, I've got 2 scouts that I start with, and then I get 2 more scouts from my double hunting cabins immediately into the game. I don't lose a scout on the town center as well. So I'm thinking Rus might be good here, dude. You know what? I'm putting all the civs. Hold on. Reset the game. Reset right now the playbook. What have we tested already? We tested the Abbasid dynasty. I think the Abbasid dynasty are probably going to be, you know what? I'm going to put them in C tier. Delhi Sultanate, they're going in A tier. Rus are going in A tier, but obviously this might change depending on where things fall. Let's go into the Mongols. This is a civilization I don't think is going to be that good, just simply because they rely on early aggression, and you're not going to have that option to do early aggression. Now, don't get me wrong. You can go take 4 villages over there and like put a barracks on your Uvu or whatnot early on in the game, but you're going to be behind where you would. So let's take a look and see what we've got. 26 vills, a lot of sheep, and we've got the Khan. So standard start, 1 gur, 2 gurs. Oh, the pastures are on the Uvu. Oh, and you start with the Uvu. So we've got 2 gurs, and the pastures are on the Uvu. Okay. All right. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot, dude. Man, they have done such a good job with this. They have seriously done such a good job with this. So what do we go? We go, well, let's start it off with a wheelbarrow. Why not? Why the heck not? 2 gurs, 2 pastures, and the Uvu. I mean, I don't really know how to think about it, like, other than this is really good for Mongol food sources. And, like, because you've got these pastures from the very beginning of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, all right? Like, normally, you're not going to be making 2 gurs early. Normally, you're not... Did that sheep... Hey, bro, can you, like... Go down here. So normally you're not going to be making pastures early. You're not going to be making a gur early. So I feel like you're not really gaining from the things that you've got as much as some other civs might be. So because of this, I'm going to say that I think the Mongols are probably down in the C tier as well. I think this adversely affects it. Think about it like this, right? B is you're kind of the same. A is that you get buffs. C is that it hurts you worse. And if anything, I'm going to put Abbasid in D tier, even though I do think it favors them. And they do start with the market though. We'll go C tier. We'll go C tier for now. Let's wait it out. Okay, we're still going. All right. So Holy Roman Empire. Let's check in with the Giga Chads. See how they're doing here in this game mode. Because remember, like, what's your goal? Your goal is to get Castle Age. Okay. How quick are we going to be able to get Castle Age here? Oh my God! Now that I think about it, oh, this could be disgusting. They could actually be S tier. You want to know the reason why? Pause it quickly. Look at this. Gold here. Wood here, Arkan Chapel right here, all of the food. Keep in mind you start with extra sheep. Okay. Oh, this could be absolutely busted. I'm gonna go for the world's fastest fast castle here with the Holy Roman Empire. Let's see what we can do. Now, just keep in mind, Holy Roman Empire doesn't actually really naked fast castle anymore. So let's take a look and see what's it gonna be. All right, pull all these guys in. Scout, can you come out here for me, please? Let's go. All these vills are on. All these vills are on wood. Do we even need wood at the moment? How many prelates have I got? Okay. Oh, I got 1 prelate on the gold and 1 prelate on the wood already. So there's a part of me that's just thinking, okay, so we want to get these over here. And don't tell me I've killed all the sheep already. That's okay. We're fine. All right, everybody out over here now. We've got 8 vills. I'm even tempted to bring more. I think 8's still a pretty decent amount. Arkan Chapel going to be coming down. Should be able to get the Arkan... That looks good to me. We'll just go right there. So that's 8 vills on the Arkan. I'm almost tempted, like, let's add more vills onto the Arkan. Let's pull these a bit closer. Prelate, you're going to come out over here. Actually, I mean, we just keep that there because that, I don't know where that hits exactly. And then this guy's going to jump in. You're going to have absolutely insane age ups here. So we're just going to make sure all of these guys go back to the right spot. This guy's going to come over here. Like, we're already at 300 gold here. We're just going to kill all of these. I probably could have brought these over to the Ark, and I probably still can. No, not that guy, though. Inside, please. And so now we're going for that fast castle, that super fast castle. Yeah, like this feels kind of crazy, right? Like, because the idea is that you just get your Archon so quickly, and your Archon's going to give you the boost immediately. And because you've already got so many vills, it's very early on, not a lot of military out already, so you can very much take advantage of all of this. And we've got 2 prelates as well, so it means that we can look to start picking up relics super early on. Two minutes 26. Okay, so you're going out to that one. Let's pop you out. You can go out up to here. We want another prelate. Let's force drop. Let's move. This prelate can come out over here. And then this prelate will come here. And we're going to go... Let's do a double stable. Now we're probably under pressure at this point. We're almost 3 minutes into the game. We need to find those relics. I'm sure we'll find them eventually. There's one. Alright, our stables are a bit slow here, but we can definitely improve that. Do we see any relics? Give me my relics. Okay, Holy Roman Empire is fucking S tier. Definitely. Definitely S tier. A little bit slow here on the gold. But double knight production straight away. I mean, we do have a bit of a problem in that our gold is on the front here. But overall, like, that's 3 relics picked up. Did this guy... Did you not pick up that... Did it not work? It mustn't have worked. Yeah, that's completely busted. That's gonna be S tier. That's crazy good. That is crazy good. I can't believe how good that is. That is... Wow. So it all really just comes down to the power of the prelate, of the prelate together with the Archon Chapel, I think. And to be honest, like, in watching how that played out, I think I'd be pretty happy with that, because you use the wood for the stables and you need the stables to defend early on. But like, just having a look at that again. So you start off 26, 2, and 1. Yeah, like that's just absolutely crazy. That's wild. And you don't even need the Archon on the gold, because you've got the second prelate to gather up the gold. Yeah, you just throw the Archon down. You can even throw it down on the wood, as long as it's touching the TC, and then you're getting... You know what? Maybe you even throw the Archon down, like, in a position like this. Right? Like, when you think about it. So we leave all of these guys. I'm not going to do it again. That's going to be fun. Okay, all right. Holy Roman Empire definitely going to be S tier there. Now, we've already talked about French a little bit. Let's go into another game and just review what they've got, because I do think the French are probably going to be lower down quite a bit on this tier list, just because they do try and... Like, I don't think you're going to be playing the French in the same way that you play other civs. So 29... I don't think you're going to be playing the French in the way that you play them in 1v1 normal. I think you're going to be coming in with that... You'll come in with your very standard opening here. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if people even go Chamber of Commerce. I do think French is still quite a strong civilization. So I'm curious to see exactly what players look to do here. But you know what? Maybe not Chamber of Commerce. I think it's probably still going to be the cavalry one. So we probably want to... The thing is, we want to use our vills here to age up. Like, our wood vills are our aging up vills. So, I mean, I'm going to put School of Cavalry in a pretty bad spot here. But you're throwing that down. And let's say we're against the Holy Roman Empire, right? So we've just We've done that. And I mean, Holy Roman Empire, bro. Honestly, like, if I'm playing against the French, I just throw down a barracks and I laugh at you as I defend and I just go castle immediately. And then I start getting knights out that are, you know, elite, or not elite, but you know, castle age knights. How do you even deal with that, man? It's so quick. I'm going to be in Imperial by like 7 minutes. So already I feel like I don't have enough vills on this landmark. Now, I could, like, let's say I'm going against the Holy Roman Empire. Maybe I want to go all in. See, the thing is, I can't even pull these guys off. Oh, I just noticed something. Okay. The devs made a change. It was right-click. Oh, that annoys me. I hope there's a way to turn that off. Right-click cancels a build menu. But you know what else it does? It also prevents an action. Hold on. That didn't work. Okay, that works. Q, right-click. Q, right-click. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I thought it prevented the action. So W, and then let's go double range. That is perfect pathing. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't know how long we weren't training. I don't know how long we weren't training for. We've got a second knight in Q, but let's cancel that and let's go double broadaxe instead. I think we should be able to get our second knight out in time because these guys are carrying gold. So as long as they hand in, that'll be okay. And now we get our second knight out. So let's get this guy out. Obviously not doing the best job scouting here. But let's do that. And now we've got 7 over on that. Okay, so, I mean, you can put on some pretty decent pressure early on. Even with this. I can go into third. I could just, I mean, I could just throw that down. If we really want to get GUA about it. Way too many vills in queue right now. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted another one of those. And we are starting to run out of... Did my scout not join this control group? Mustn't have. Sorry, Mr. Scout. So we're 3 minutes into the game. The Holy Roman Empire player has just reached Castle Age. But obviously, I mean, I'm putting on some pretty good pressure here. Barracks is now up, so we're going to drop a second barracks as well to the front here. And let's get our next. So you can see I'm throwing down these knights. I don't need to be. I can be getting like upgrades here. So you can put on some pretty decent pressure. I think French are probably going to be an advanced civ when it comes to... If you're a lower level player, do not be playing French in Empire Wars. I think this civilization is definitely going to be an aggro civ. Just judging by this start, it feels really good. I can see right there, yeah. I mean, look at the number of units. We're at 4 minutes here. But, I mean, even against this, right? Like a single outpost. See, outpost doesn't... you know what? I think the Holy Roman Empire will still be able to crush this, to be honest. So French, I think, probably not that badly affected. Definitely not in the same tier as these guys. So I'm just going to go put them in the B tier for now. All right. Next civilization. Who's coming up? It's the Chinese. We obviously started this video off with the Chinese, but I want to be thorough. I've done solid assessments of all the other civilizations. Let's focus on the Chinese. What is the best civilization going to be in Empire Wars? Is it going to be the Chinese? And I tell you right now, the fact that the Holy Roman Empire is S tier means probably not. So let's double check. 26 villages to start with 2 imperial officials. That's big. Now, remember that the prelate buffs things up a static amount, 40%. Imperial officials do the same thing, 20%. The imperial official is not capped on how many villages it can buff, though. It can buff 75 villages all at the same time because it empowers or supervises the one economic building, whereas the prelate is capped to how much it can do. So this is a big bonus when you think about it from that perspective. So I'm curious to see exactly how the openings go. I wouldn't be surprised if you see something like this happen, where players immediately take all of their villages down here, and the imperial official goes over onto gold, and you're going to be looking for a really fast Song Dynasty. Where's our scout? Let's pick up our starting sheep. There's another one over there. And let's cancel these. So our age up. We want to put our Barbican down. So let's do, say, 4 villages on the Barbican. Barbican comes down at 33 seconds. All right, we're picking up some more sheep, which is nice. Now, I don't think... let's... Oh, that was a bad idea. Moving right then. So let's hand in and then drop off tax. See, we're already like pretty much taxed out at this point. So these guys can come back over here. And these guys, I mean, they can just go to wood after because we want to go into that third TC, right? So now all of these guys, that doesn't look the best. Let's pull a few of these guys off. Oh, we need to drop the landmark. Let's do the landmark here. There we go. All right, so we just need a handful of villas. These guys are going to go out there. So Song Dynasty going to be coming through shortly. Now, we've got 11 villas on wood, but we're not supervising. Oh, that's a good call. We're not supervising. We want to be supervising, so let's go do that. So I think China is going to be pretty strong here. When it comes to matching the Holy Roman Empire, I don't know if you're going to do that off 2 TCs. You're probably going to have to go 1 TC and then try and look to control relics. These guys probably want to come over to food, except for you. You keep on your wood grind, my friend. All right, and at 900, we're dropping off. Cool, and now we do our town center. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Cool, and now you can go back here. Cool, and now we're Song Dynasty 2 TCs at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, which seems crazy, but remember, everybody gets like really big bonuses. Right? Like the biggest bonus China gets is like, ooh, imperial officials. Like that's pretty much it. Okay, so from here, then what? We just go like out to here. But the thing is, because we want to go to TC Song Dynasty. So yeah, look, I think the bonuses. Hey, you don't do that. Not in my house, baby. So definitely, like you've got the option. Like French timing was hitting about 3 minutes. Maybe a little bit before that. You've got the Barbican up. I think China's going to be a really strong contender here. For this, just mainly because you're just going to be able to get safe. Like I'm literally 2 TC Song Dynasty. I can just sit here spamming Chukunu. I mean, my gold's a little bit exposed, and I'm sure that if someone wanted to put on pressure, like if I'm playing against Lucifron or Vortex, I can't get away with the 2 TC Song Dynasty. It's not going to work. But I do think China will be S tier just simply because 2 TC Song is going to be incredibly difficult to stop. With the exception of maybe like a French 1-base aggro play. All right, so let's go on to the next civ. It's going to be the English. Everybody's favorite. Obviously my main civilization at the moment, but I am probably going to be switching to French, which I know sounds a little bit crazy, but I assure you there is a reason. So let's take a look at the English. Oh my god, they get farms. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, so English start off 26 vills, as you would expect. But they get farms, and that is just so funny. And look, the farms are in front of the base as well, and it's like, and the gold's behind the base. So you want to make your TC back here, but you don't want your farms to be at the front like this. Now you can just start it off. I mean, it's up to you how you want to play this game, right? Like, and you've got the extra sheep as well, and the fact that you've got the farms at the beginning means that your food sources are just crazy efficient. English age up coming through. What are we even doing here? I mean, we just go for a council hall. Let's put the council hall down just there. Excuse me. We need a little bit more food here. Thank you. And now we're just going to take our gold vills and go put them on stone, right? Like, that's it. We've got 100 wood in the bank. So we can look to get an upgrade. But obviously, we should have pulled those off a little bit earlier. We'll take 4 of these vills over here. Let's move everybody over onto that. So we're looking for that second TC. How many vills are we building it with? With 5 vills. To me, that almost feels like a critical mistake here, because we're once again playing the English. You're looking for that second TC, right? Early on, or at least most people are. You can always look to play aggressive as well. That's another thing to note, but I think that something like this should be more than possible. See, yeah, I mean, we should have 100 stone in the bank right now, so it's a little bit late on this maneuver over here. But overall, I think for the English, this feels pretty good. The fact that you've got these farms, and remember, like, we're talking about bonuses, or the bonuses. How good are the bonuses, and how meaningful are they, right? Because you're playing the Mongols and you've got 2 Gers. It's like, what do I need 2 Gers for? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've already got your, you need 1. You already start off with 1 Ger in a normal game, and that's going on gold. Mongol players are going to have all their sheep under the TC. They've got their pastures rallying towards it. So the second go is not meaningful. The pastures, they're nice. It's nice to have them, but are they significant? Well, to be honest, I would have just preferred like an extra couple hundred wood in the bank anyway. I mean, it's kind of nice having them at the start. But for the English, you're going to be going into these relatively early. I mean, you're going to be adding these farms in at, what, 5, 6, 7 minutes for most English players? This is great. This is a meaningful bonus. This is a solid bonus, a really good bonus for the English. So as you can see, my macro is off. I should have right now 180 resources in here. I should have enough to drop down a second TC at 1 minute 48 as the English here. I don't, but you guys get the point. I think the English is pretty well affected by this. Now, you're not going to be able to get out of the gates the same way that you could. Actually, you know what? Let's test it. Let's say, okay, I'm an English rusher. I love rushing as the English. How good is it? Let's take a look, okay? So I'm going to start off just by canceling the vills that are in queue. I'll leave one in there. And we're going to go up with, I mean, we've got our gold in the back of the base again. Is this like the exact same spawn? It feels like it's the exact, I think it might actually be the identical spawn to what we had in the last game. Do we have another player in the game? We might not. Yeah, we don't. Okay, that's why. Okay, so let's just hypothetically say that there is another player in the game. All right, so we've got our 200 gold. And now we're moving to drop our council hall down. So council hall is going to come down. I'm going to drop a barracks down at the same time with 2 vills, and I'm going to pull these guys through, and I'm going to rally out towards this as well, just because we are really in the mood to rush right now. We don't like people living on the same map as us. Not that there's anybody else on this map, but you guys get the point. So 2 vills on the barracks is probably too much. That's definitely the case. So you can head back over there. Now we got lots of houses. We got a nice little stack of 4 here, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Food is starting to become an issue though, so we're gonna have to think about that from our macro. Where's our scout? Let's go scout our non-existent enemy, because remember, we don't actually have an enemy against us right now. We're gonna pretend that we do. All right, so age ups come through. We got 12 vills on the landmark. You probably don't want more than that. And immediately we click those buttons. Let's get a few more vills out over here, and we're just going to start producing units like absolute madmen. Council hall is working overtime. We could probably even throw... You know what? I'm going to rally a couple vills out over here. We got another spear in queue. We don't have a vill in queue. I need to get a vill in queue. Hand in, guys. That's not good. We should never be doing that, but I guess we got it. You got to... When the times get tough. All right, so we've found the enemy. It's a sacred site. So we're going to rally out towards this position. So just make sure that we've got units in queue. I mean, this feels really good. It looks really good. We start running out of food. It's not going to happen, but, you know, hypothetically, if we do, we are going to be able to transition into farms. Let's throw down a blacksmith as well. So it definitely seems like... why is that not giving me... There we go. That should give... Oh my god, it's actually terrible. They fucked up the council hall thing. You can't have... Was it always like that? I don't think it was always like that, was it? Surely not. We want to keep those vills there for the moment. Definitely need a few more vills over on wood, especially if we're going into something like siege engineering here. But, I mean, you can definitely be very aggressive here. I mean, we can clearly see we're in the enemy base right now before the Holy Roman Empire player has aged up. What time did we age up? It was like 3 minutes or something. I think we were... Was it sub 3 minutes castle age? I think it was. I'd have to double check, but I don't think... I think this is like... This is definitely a good thing for the English. I think they are positively affected by this. Let's take a look at our next civilization. It's going to be the Malians. Let's jump in and have a look exactly what they get. So I'm thinking maybe cows. Could they get cows? Potentially. They get pit mine. Maybe a pit mine with maxed out houses around it. That would be pretty nice, actually. Let's take a look and see exactly what they're getting. Yes. Oh, they start with cows. Bro, you know that there's going to be people mad, like Malian villagers need to stop killing the cows. Can you make a pasture in... No, you can't. It comes in the... Hold on. Okay. Question. Can I get my villagers not to kill that cow? If I'm playing the Malians. All right, I've got to be real fucking quick with this. Because I want to keep it. Nah, I don't think you can. I can't even select my units, dude. I'm going to try one more time. The cow always goes down. The cow will always go down. You can save one. Okay, so we saved Bessie. All right, so we've got 2 cows, 26 vils. And we have got a full ring of houses on the pit mine. Wood line. We've got the mill already early on. So you could be looking at a pretty quick age up. Whether you want to play it eco, whether you want to get aggressive early on, that will depend. But obviously with cattle, with the new buffs to cattle, I suspect more people are going to be looking for them earlier on. I guess trade changed as well. So people might be looking for that. Mansa Quarry, though. We'll throw that bad boy down. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like it doesn't give them much, but it doesn't take... Like, if you like playing the Malians, you will like playing the Malians in Empire Wars, right? Like, it's a very simple translation into this game mode, right? Like, I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Like, not translation, but you guys get, like, a port. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't give them any buffs. It's really very simple. It's like, here's Malians with their, you know, everything that you'd expect. All right, let's take a look at the Ottomans. Nothing really to say about the Malians, honestly. Like, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't affect them in any real way. Ottomans. All right. My understanding is that this civilization is actually the only civilization that is adversely affected, very much so. Yes, you heard that correctly, Ottomans fans. So we start off with 26 villages, 6. We've got our sheep to start off with, and we've got a blacksmith and a military school. But take a look where they spawn. Interesting position for a blacksmith and a military school, because last time I checked, this is not a mining camp. Let's have a look. Let's restart the game and see what it looks like. We're playing against a second player, so it should give us a different spawn now. Let's have a look and see what it looks like on another spawn. You see the issue, right? Oh, I want to put a barracks down. Oh, yeah, no worries. Here. Here. And it's at the front of your base. You have a military school and a blacksmith at the front of your base. It is not this. On top of that, like, you don't have pressure from the military school in the Dark Age. To be fair, though, this spearman does feel like it's coming out very quickly. Why is this spearman coming out so quickly? I guess it's already got the blacksmith, right? Because I guess the blacksmith is tier 2, right? What percentage is it giving us here? I don't know. Because it says it gives 20, 30, 40. Does it not give a percentage? Do you think that's the case? Let's put... I want to rush this landmark down. Do you think... So it was 55 seconds before? Yeah, 54. I think it's like 56. Yeah, 56. So 56 seconds before. So 20% of 56 seconds. Drongo math coming in right now. It's a lot. Well, I mean, if we see any reduction at all, it's going to indicate that the blacksmith doesn't work until... Let's have a look. Oh, so it's... Okay, so you do... And you do get the extra vizier points, or at least it looks like you get quite a few extra vizier points as well. So it looks like you get the blacksmith bonus in the Dark Age. So, I mean, that's something that it's got going for it. But I think realistically, the Ottomans are severely hampered by this. Because now not only... Like, is there something wrong with all of this blank space in the back of my base? I think that's a Taylor Swift song. I'd have to double check the lyrics. But you get the point. So this is where I sort of come in and say, okay, Ottomans are definitely D tier. Sorry to all my Ottoman fans out there. So the thing is, I shouldn't put them in the D tier because the reality is this adversely affects them, but is it really going to be impactful in your game? I don't think so. I think similarly to the Malians, if you're a Malian or an Ottoman enjoyer, you're going to enjoy the Ottomans here. But I do think that they are impacted significantly by these changes. So what's my proposal? How would I change this? Okay, so if you've ever seen the cheat in a jiffy, what is in a jiffy? in a jiffy makes it so that your buildings build instantly. It basically increases your movement speed or your build speed by 1,000,000. Now, it also increases like the speed that villagers gather. It increases the speed that villagers train. So what I'm going to demonstrate, though, is essentially what you could do here as the devs, if you wanted to. If not, that's perfectly fine. If we put in a jiffy on, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to train or build a barracks. Now, you see how that built instantly? So what's my proposal? My proposal is that you would have like a ticket, a free ticket, where you could choose where you wanted to put your buildings down. Now, I don't think they're going to do this. I think they're probably just going to say, look, Drongo, if you get a bad spawn, bad luck. That's part of it. Because that's just the easy thing to do, right? But the reality is that some of these spawns, they're not the nicest spawns for our Ottoman friends. But, I mean, that's something that they could look to do. You know, maybe put 2 houses down and then give you 2 house tickets to put down 2 free houses. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe just, yeah. Look, they're probably not going to change it. I'm not even going to say that let's do that as an improvement because it probably wouldn't improve the game. Overall, I'm incredibly excited for Empire Wars. I messaged a couple of the guys that that also make content, and I said I'm excited for Empire Wars. Like I think this is actually going to be legit. It seems really fun. Games get going quickly. It's not like Age of Empires 2. In Age of Empires 2, you're very much prevented from speeding up the game just by the age up times, whereas in Age of Empires 4, if you want to age up with 12 vills on your landmark, go for it. If you want to age up with 3, go for it. The control is up, or is in the hands of the players. So I think overall, this is incredibly exciting. My main concern, as I said, is going to be balance for these 2 civs at the top. So interesting to note, prelates and imperial officials. So maybe the devs might need to tone back the villager counts that we're getting on both of those civs. Maybe instead of starting with 26 vills each, they're starting with 24 vills each, or even less, 23 vills each, just to try and help the balance out there, because I think that these 2 civs are just going to be crazy good in Empire Wars. But anyway, I'm curious what you guys think. Are you looking forward to Empire Wars? Do you want to see Empire Wars content? Are you excited about the prospect of an Empire Wars tournament? If so, let me know. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.